everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Unreal World, and with me, I am Wolfric. Right, quick recap. The last time, we finished preparing the meats and other goodies that we got from our boar kill. Yes! And I said at the end of the last episode, I believe we were going to make a water skin. That was correct. So that will make hunting easier in the future to save us instead going and carrying around either a giant tub of water or a mug which really doesn't hold much at all. We can make a less than a pound skin when it's empty and fill it up with 5 pounds of water. Very useful. I've done some thinking since the last time I recorded, and I've come to a decision somewhat on the course that we're going to take with this character, because part of the difficulty that some people have with Unreal World is that it's so open-ended. There is no real goal in the game. There are only the goals that you make. Quests are a thing that Sammy is going to implement into the game, but not in the immediate future. I believe in a recent forum post he said that over the course of the next year he intends to focus more on graphical improvements to the game. So eventually this entire system that you see here will look completely different. He's going for a more updated, modern, kind of 3D-ish kind of look. So he's going to put gameplay on hold for the time. It depends on how much effort it takes to do the graphical enhancements. So yes, at the minute, quests are a thing that are upcoming in the future. However, at the minute, aside from this, the tutorial course that you get, this is the basic one, and as you saw in the first video, there is an advanced one as well that you can do, which has, I think, about the same amount of tasks to complete. But once you've done all that, the game is completely devoid of any other task or goal than those that you set yourself. The big goal in this game is to survive winter and basically just see how long you can survive. So that's going to be our main goal that we're aiming to, is obviously to see how long we can survive with this character, but in the meantime we want to decide how we're going to survive. So obviously we're a hunter. So that's how we started. We didn't start with fishing nets or anything else. However, I can make some if I want to later on because of the mod that I've got installed, the self-sufficiency mod. But our primary survival method is through hunting large wild game. So we are fairly north in the world, but to be honest, we are not far north enough. Sorry, that's the wrong button. That's the button. So this is obviously the world map. I've shown you it before, and as you can see from this little blob down here, that black square there is everything that you can see here, and we are still fairly central in the world. Eventually I want to be up here near the owl territory kind of thing, possibly somewhere near the north coast. So that's a fair distance to migrate, but in the meantime we've got a lot of stuff to prepare for that. And we have hardly any supplies, really. If you look at it really, we've got a knife, a hand axe, a bow and a javelin. In terms of equipment, we have not got much at all. We really need a decent set of axes for wood crafting and such like that. We would also be able to do with, I don't know really, possibly some supplies like flour, emergency food reserves. Basically we want to go further south towards the Drick territory where we can find the most abundant storehouses, and we want to trade. So trade in this game, there is no currency, so to speak. There's no gold, copper, bronze, etc. It's just bartering items for items. However, there is a currency, so to speak, because every item is worth a certain amount of a particular item, and that item is meat. Everything is measured in meat cuts, so a torch, or rather a handful of torches, may be worth a meat cut. A bear fur, a good quality bear fur, like not great quality or anything, just a decent normal bear fur, would be worth roughly, I believe it's about 300 cuts of meat. So everything is worth a different amount of meat, which is perfect for us because as hunters, if we are successful in hunting, that's going to be basically what we're swimming in. We're going to be swimming in meat and nothing else. At the minute, we pretty much are going to be. We've got how much meat here drying on? We've got 76 dried cuts here preparing on the side of our shelter, and we've got another 100 or so, I think, preparing in the nearby village. So we have got loads of meat to deal with. So that's going to take forever for us to get through. You get through roughly about 2.5 pounds of meat a day, is the rough estimate, I believe. So that's going to be so much that we're not going to get through, and it's still really early in the year, so we don't really need to be thinking about our winter provisions just yet. So here is the immediate game plan. We are going to continue hunting, as you do, and every kill that we get, we're going to keep a small amount to one side for ourselves, and we're going to continue preserving the rest and tanning the hides and everything else. We're going to some of the hides we'll keep as leather and some we'll keep as fur, because we can either make we can make clothing out of it, or we can trade it as well. At a certain point, we're not going to need that much fur. Once we've got a full set of fur clothing, there's not a whole lot more that you need it for. So after that, we've got fur that we can trade, we've got meat that we can trade. The fur you can actually trade to foreign traders if it's a particularly valuable kind of fur, and foreign traders sell a lot of iron goods, so weaponry and armour and such like that. Again, not exactly necessary for us, because I've got the self-sufficiency mod involved, which introduces blacksmithing into the game, so we can actually make a lot of iron products. However, I've never actually gotten that far into the mods. I've never touched it, so in the meantime, if we need any iron goods, we can probably trade with foreign traders for it. So yes, that's the plan. We're going to get loads of meat, and the other good thing is, because we've been drying meat, the different preservation methods actually reduce the weight of the meat. So a cut of meat, when you cut it from the animal, is 1 pound. If you smoke it, I believe it reduces the weight by half per pound, half a pound per cut, and when you dry it, I think it actually goes down to about 1/4 pound per cut. So all this meat that we're drying, we can take 4 times as much of it with us than we were able to originally. So if we kill a bear and we pick up 120 to 200 cuts of meat, that might weigh us down, but as soon as it's dried, we can carry all of that no problem, and we'll be perfectly fine. So we're going to load up with as much meat as we can, we're going to dry off as much of it as we can, and then we're going to head south. I'm not sure if preserving the meat or cooking it or anything changes the value, I don't think so. But that's what we're going to do, and we're going to take all the meat and all the furs that we make down south with us. We're going to trade for a decent set of axes, so we're going to want a broad axe, a splitting axe, a woodsman's axe, a carving axe, did I mention that? Carving, broad, splitting, woodsman's. We've got a hand axe, and I really would like to try and come into possession of a Calmalay spear. Being in Calmo territory at the minute, it's the only opportunity that we've got to get one from Calmo territory, is the only place we're going to get one. However, the task of getting one is where it gets interesting, because so far I've not managed to find anyone with one that's willing to trade it, so if they continue to be stubborn bastards like that, I'm going to have to kill him to get it. So that is what we will come to eventually, but this is all just things for the future, things that we can consider. So, enough blathering on, I've wasted enough time with that. Let's actually get down to the game. So, oh yeah, we've got our smoked elk cuts as well. So we're doing so well for meat right now. Right, let's have a look at this leather. It is still being prepared. 2 days. Okay, fair enough. That will be done in 2 days. So in the meantime, let us eat. What should we? We'll eat this roasted perch. And have a drinky. No, do not step into the water. Butterfingers. Right, drink. There we go. Okay. So it's early morning-ish, just before afternoon, and we're already rather tired. I can't remember what we did in the last episode. Did we? Oh wait, I think that was when we chopped up the firewood. So that would explain why we're not vigorous anymore. So what have we got around us? We've got our knife, a mace, smoked out cuts, fishing rod, bandages, rocks and branches, and another 31 branches. Right, let us finish making arrows out of the materials that we've got, because we've got all the materials here. How many cords have we actually got, thinking on it? None. However, we do have, I believe some of these are yes, 7 whole bandages. So we're going to pick them up and we will make cords out of them. A comment on one of the previous videos says that there is word on the forums that this particular little trick may not be implementable for much longer. Apparently Sammy knows about this little trick and has decided to get rid of it out of the game. However, I've not found that particular thread, so pardon the pun. So I'll have to keep looking for that, because that's fairly interesting. I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's a little bit inconvenient, so to speak, but it's not a big issue, and we're going to survive just fine without it. We can always make primitive. Actually, that is what we're going to do. Now, once we've finished with this and everything else, we are going to make some primitive cords. Cancel what? What have I done? Cancel? Ah, pick up. Yeah, yeah, pick up these 2 branches. There we go. So make weapons, arrows. We've run out of rocks. We need more rocks. 2 rough arrows. So I'm happy with this. They're not perfect arrows. They're not decent quality, but they're not curved. Curved is bad. We want rough at the minimum. Arrows would be great, and fine arrows would just be absolutely bloody brilliant. So we're going to drop these bandages. Actually, no, we're going to keep them on us for now. We'll drop a couple. We don't want to have too many because we don't really need them right now, so, but it always doesn't hurt to keep some on hand. So now we have 5 cords, an absolute fuck ton of branches. However, we've run out of rocks, so we want to get 5 more rocks. We'll just finish using off the materials that we've got with us. We're not actually going to go out of our way to make a whole lot, but we will just use up the materials that we've got to hand. 5 cords. That was 3 rocks? 3 rocks, so I need 2 more. Wow, I've really scoured this riverside clean. It's a shame that we actually lost a fair amount of our arrows on that hunt. I remember losing at least 1 into the water while we were our brief encounter with those wolves. There's another rock. So yeah, you always want to try and gather up your arrows as you go, because they are really useful. And you really, really don't want to get to the last point where you've... Ooh, there's one. You don't want to be chasing down an animal for half an hour or so of real time. Finally get it to the point where it's 1 more shot will bring it down. And then all of a sudden, you've run out of arrows. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. So always try and keep a good healthy supply of stuff on you. Bloody hell. Right, here we go. Right, finish off this. Wait, I need branches, don't I? Have I got any on me? No, branches. 2 branches, so I need 3 more. Pick up 3. Make weapons, arrows, 3 cords. And there we go, 2 decent and 1 rough arrow. Excellent, we're really actually starting to get better at this. What is our carpentry looking like? 36% adequate. It's not bad. It's a 2-star skill, so it's going to improve better than our physician. However, our physician has actually improved a little bit. I can just see a tiny little sliver of lightened area. And our climbing and stealth has increased as well. Excellent. I'm happy. Our stuff is going well. Let's check out our injury quickly. It's orange. It's just above serious, and it's not treated at the moment. So this doesn't usually go well. Every time we've tried to heal this recently, it jumps between getting better and getting worse. So let's try it. Splint. Please don't kill me. Oh, thank fuck for that. After treating the fracture in the abdomen, you consider it healing just fine. That will do. It's green. I'm not going to touch it. I'll leave it as it is. Can't make it any better than that at the minute, but I really don't want to make it any worse. So, right. I think that's a good place to finish off for now. Sorry we haven't actually gotten much done in this episode. I blathered on a little bit explaining what we're going to do. But next time we're going to continue on, just waiting for this leather to finish tanning. Once that's done, we will be able to make a skin out of it, we'll be able to go hunting. And that's pretty much what we're going to focus on for the most part for the time being, is just trying to hunt down as many animals as we can. Taking all bets as to how many kick my arse. So yeah, until the next time, I will see you later.